Okay, so I'll just introduce myself. So my name is Santosh Yadav, and you can see we cannot travel. So I virtually decided to move to San Francisco, and I also learned a little bit of magic at home. You can see, gone. So I learned some magic tricks as well on Zoom. Okay, so I'll start with my talk. So I'm going to talk about Angular Builders in depth because, of course, Angular Builders is one of the APIs of Angular CLI, and I love CLI. I think I own my entire Angular career because Angular CLI was there. I started Angular because of Angular CLI. So I'll talk about Angular Builders, which is a new API introduced in Angular 8. And about myself, I'm an GD for Angular and Web Technologies. I also love to write. So I'm also a writer for indep.dev. You can just go to indep.dev and check out few articles. Apart from that, you can find me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Santosh Yadav Dev. I'm also available on GitHub. If you want to look into my few open source projects. Also, I'm a contributor for Angular and NGRX and few open source projects which I maintain. So you can check that out on this GitHub repository. If you are if you want to connect on LinkedIn, this is my LinkedIn ID. You can also send me a message. Before I move ahead and start talking about the builders, I would like to show you a few builders which is already created. One of them is Source Map Analyzer, which was created after ngconf. So there was a talk from Igor Minar. So he talked about Source Map Analyzer, and then I decided to create a builder just to make the life of every Angular developers easier, right? And then I have another builder which is available for Netlify. You can go ahead and deploy your website using Angular CLI on Netlify. That is also available, and it's open source, of course. And one thing which I have been working from a long time with few of my friends, it's not still what do you say released, but this is how it looks like. So we are working on a component library with some of my colleagues. So it's called NGX2 Bulma. NGX2 Bulma because someone has already taken NGX Bulma on NPM, and he's not ready to give it to us. We are contacting that guy. If we don't want to use the name, we can go ahead and use it. And it's still in progress. You can see nice homepage designed by one of the colleagues. Then there are a few components, for example, card, we have messages. So these are few components, but it will be released soon before the month end. So just keep watching it. We'll come up with this nice component library soon. So let's talk about Angular builders, right? So before we go ahead and deep dive into the builders, we will go back into the history, because we need to learn, right, why we needed something, why we needed Angular builders, why Angular CLI was not enough. To talk about history, I'll talk about one file which is totally gone right now and replaced with angular.json. So if you remember Angular 4 and 5, there was a file called .angular-cli.json, and I have taken this data from that file. So you can see there were a few commands, e2e, lint, test. And why these commands? Because these commands were into your angular.json file, and there were few commands which were not available inside your angular.json, which we call as schematics. So if you know nggenerate, ngnew, then you had ngg component, ngg what you can say modules. Those were schematics, right? So we had schematics from a long time, and of course we used to love it, right? That's why which makes our life easier, right? We don't have to actually go ahead and create all the files manually. Schematics are awesome, right? So, and we some later point of time, schematics became a public API, so we can go ahead and write our own schematics. That's also possible. But here I'm not going to talk about schematics. I'm going to talk about builders. So every builders, or you can say every CLI commands which were available, e2e, lint, just what they had is config file. So every config file was available inside your workspace. Now, if you see Angular 8 and 9 project, you will not find this configuration.js files for most of the things. For example, linting, right? So they are gone. So what happened to this configuration files? Angular said, okay, there is some limitations when we actually expose these files inside your workspace. What in case I have to actually override the configuration? Can I do that? No, we cannot do that, because everything is internal. So this is where actually I wanted to talk about two more commands which are not available. they are ngserve and ngbuild. So ngserve and ngbuild are not available here. Even though if I go ahead and manually overwrite the configuration file for E2E Karma, sorry, E2E for protector and for linting, it is already available. So I'm not going to talk about, let's talk about E2E, right? So if I have to go ahead and overwrite some Webpack configuration for my ngserve and ngbuild, I cannot do that because they are even not available inside my configuration file, which makes my life difficult because initially there were requirements inside many projects that what we want to do is we want to add some extra file into my, let's say, ngserve. When I'm doing ngserve, I have a few extra files, for example, maybe related to your environment configuration, maybe related to your, you want to actually replace your index.html with some other index.html, which has your, let's say, Google Analytics key available, right? So those things were not possible. What we had to do is, we'll see soon. And then there was another difficult task to do, building and publishing Angular libraries. Why it was difficult? Because we had to do it manually. ng packager was available, but you have to still go ahead and configure everything by your own. It's not automated. What in case I want to use tools like Jest or Cypress? Again, it's possible, but difficult using the Angular and 4 or 5, because I have to do everything manually. And once you do some manual things, of course, things can go wrong, right? So manual, if there is even a spelling mistake, it will just end up eating your entire day, which we never wanted to. So what was the solution earlier? So we had this command called ngeject. I'm sure everyone who started with Angular 4 may be aware of this command, ngeject. And what happens when you do that? It gives you a large 600 lines of Webpack configuration file, which no one understands. I did it a few times. Then I stopped even showing that file to the developers because it's scary, right? 600 lines of codes, which no one understands, right? So, but this was the old solution. You can go ahead and run ngeject, get all the configuration out, and modify as per your requirement. I mean, if you want to include some extra file into ngserve, go ahead and do that. If you want to override ngbuild, go ahead and do that using the Webpack configuration file, which is available to you now. But again, what in case in your organization, there is only one guy who understands Webpack. He leaves and everyone is like confused now what to do with this Webpack configuration file. So it creates another problem. Rather than solution, it creates more of a problem. So what happened, so eventually what every dev started doing is they started writing their own custom configuration because they heard that Angular CLI is not sufficient to override build and serve processes. And Angular team was like, no, we don't want you to leave. We will get it changed. We will come up with something better. And this is where they came up with Builders API. So in Angular 6, we rather than all those configs, right? We got all the commands available inside your angular.json file. Now the old angular-CLI file got replaced with angular.json. And we had every command which is available inside Angular CLI. We had ngserve, ngbuild, and of course, nglint, ng2e, everything was already available, but they also came up with some additional properties, which we'll discuss about. So in Angular 6 onwards, they said, okay, now this serve is available to you. And what it offers is, it offers you a builder. So, okay, now what builders is? So they said, okay, you don't have to now struggle with overriding any commands by your own. What you can do is you can actually create your own builder. It means you can create your own command with help of builders, and you can just replace your old builder with the new builder which is created. For example, for serve, I want to override this builder. What I can do is I can create a new builder, and how you don't have to create it, to be frank, because there are already some awesome community members who have written these builders for us. So you can replace any new builder which lets you override the configuration of your Webpack and use that builder here. And every builder comes up with options. So what you can do is in options, you can pass the extra parameters which you want to include. For example, let's say Webpack. If I'm using Webpack, I want to replace some files. I can just pass those files inside my option properties. So they can have multiple options inside this option properties, right? For example, if you see the build option, it has multiple properties. It has output path, index, main, many more properties which can be overwritten. And in case you are creating your own builder, you can just go ahead and override all these properties by your own. That's also possible. So basically for every new command, every command, they had a builder now, and it is available in Angular 6, remember that. But this API became public in Angular 8. The reason being, of course, Angular wants to try it out first, if it works or not, right? So they created it, they tested it. They said now after a year, we think it's stable. And meanwhile, most of the many community members actually wrote their own builder as well. So what they said, okay, now it's time to make it public. So with Angular 8, it was made public. Similarly, this ng packager build was created for creating your building your libraries. For test, also we now had something called build Angular Karma, and it also had options. So earlier, if you remember, in Angular 4 and 5, there was karma conf.js file. That's it. Now here there are multiple properties which are available. Karma.conf.js file is still there, but apart from that, you can also pass tsconfig file, polyfills, main, styles, assets, everything can be passed from here. For E2E also, if I want to use protector, or let's say if I want to use just, so what I can do is I can just replace this builder with just builder if one is available, or if you're interested, you can write your own. Just to give you an idea, there is one available for Cypress as well. So custom builders API, custom builders were born. Now, what to do with custom builders, right? So how to write your own builder. So this is what this is something which we are going to see now. Using custom builders, remember, you can override an existing command, ng build serve, you can E2E lint, or you can create your own as well. If you are interested, you can create your own. How to create it? So right now there is no schematic is available to create your custom builder application. So what I generally do is I take it from, there are two projects which I refer to. So there is one which is available in angular.io. If I go to angular.io and search for builders, Angular CLI builders, there is a GitHub repository which was created by Minko. So I generally download this particular project, and then I start writing my own builder. And there is another builder which is created by another great friend of mine, and I'm a huge fan of his work. So Johannes, he created ngx deploy starter, where in case you want to create a builder which is related to deployment of your application. So if you're not aware, there is a command called ngdeploy, which is available. ngdeploy command lets you deploy your application using Angular, using the CLI. So you can just say ng-add whatever builder you are using, and then just do ng-deploy, and your application will be deployed. There are many deploy packages which are available. One is Netlify, then we have GitHub pages. One is for Zeit, which is now Vercel, I think. And then there is one for AWS as well. So if I have ng-deploy use case, I go ahead and download this ngx deploy starter, and then I start my code. The advantage of using ngx deploy starter, which I see, is everything is included. So Circle CI is already added. Then there is a schematic, which is ng-add schematic, which is already included in my code. I have to just replace and concentrate on my main part, which is the deploying application on one of the cloud provider, or it can be any other provider, like for Netlify, where we can actually deploy static pages. So you can go ahead and try one of them if you are interested to write or create your own builder. And they give you an index.ts file, and this is how your index.ts files look like. The important thing to notice here is there is a function which is known as create builder. So create builder function is exported or imported from this file, this package called Angular DevKit Architect. So you can see create builder, which lets you write your own command, where basically inside this create builder function, what you are going to do is you are going to write your code, which will run once you execute your new command, or let's say if you replaced against any of the existing builder, right? So this is how what you can do is inside this create builder. It takes some parameters. So there are two parameters which I can see here. So if you see, we have options, builder options, and builder context. So we'll talk about them soon. Yep. So let me just, yeah. So builder options are nothing but, if I go back into one of the slides, you can see these options. So this is what builder options are. So whatever properties you want to override, or whatever properties you want to include in your new builder, right? You can pass it here. You will receive it here basically. whatever you pass in your angular.json, you will receive as an options here. Then you have builder context. Builder context is one of the API which will one of the what you can say internal class which will give you access to few powerful APIs. So one of them is this one, schedule target. So what you can do using schedule target is, we already saw few of the builders, right? We already saw some of the builds commands which are available in angular.json. So we can override, we can actually get access to those commands, and we can override if we want to. Here, for example, I'm overriding the build command which is available in my angular.json. So as I've given, take the target as build, then project, of course I have to give you a project name, then configuration which I want to override. So configuration can be production or dev, or maybe if you created your own new configuration for UAT or maybe anything else. So you can go ahead and do that here. We have just overwritten the entire build process. You can also override the there is one more thing. If you see your angular.json, so if I go to builders options, you have also configurations. It is also possible to override configurations. I will show you in some time as well. Then another powerful API which is given by builder context is schedule builder. What in case I don't want to override a command, I want to override a builder. For example, there is already a builder which is written by Manfred called NGX Build Plus. NGX Build Plus is one of the builder which lets you create a single bundle for your web components as well as your Angular application. I want to override, or I want to include some more files into that. I can go ahead and use schedule builder. In schedule builder, you just have to install the builder which you want to override. Give the name of the builder here. Okay, if you're thinking about what this builder is, I can just go back to angular.json. This is the builder. Now, rather than giving this command, if you talk about schedule target, I'm talking about the command which is e2e build lint. But if I talk about schedule builder, I'm talking about the builder itself. So this builder. So that's the difference. So you are free to use whichever you want to, but if it is available as a command, whatever you want to override, go ahead and use schedule target. If it is not, you can just go ahead and use schedule builder. So these are two powerful APIs which you have available. Builder context also gives you access to one of the the powerful API, which is report status. You won't need report status most of the time, because this report status API will let you report the status of your builder which is running. For example, if I'm waiting for some file to be executed, so what I can do is I can send my builder into waiting status, and whenever I want to run it again, I can just call context.report status running, or I can just call it without any status. So it will remove any existing status your builder has. So this is again one of the APIs. And then after you have created your index.ts file, you have included entire code into index.ts file, you can go ahead and create a builders.json. So builders.json file lets you define your command name. So here custom builder name is your command name. So for example, if I want to create a new command, for example, build prod or build maybe UAT. So I will give my builder custom builder name as my command name. Then implementation will target to your index.ts file, wherever your index.ts file is. So if it is available in the same folder, that's fine. I can just say index.ts. If it is available inside any other folder, I can just say / my folder name, right? Because whenever you give a path, automatically it refers to index.ts file in Node. This is how it works, right? Then you can also give a schema file. So what schema file is? Schema files are something which will help you to restrict the user input. So in case you have used schematics, schematics also uses schema.json, where you can define what are the different properties which your schematics will take from the user. Similarly, it is also possible in builders.json that you can go ahead and define a schema.json file where you can include all the properties which your custom builder can take. Then last one is, of course, description, where you have to just write, okay, what this command is if you want to include something. Then the last step is your package.json. So in your library, wherever you are creating your custom builder, you have to define two important things. So one is builders, where you will target to your builders.json. If you are aware of schematics, there is pretty similar thing which you do for schematics. So you say schematics and then collection.json rather than builders.json. And another is index.js file. So index.js file will contain nothing, but it will export everything from index.ts. I will show you soon. So how about using a builder? So in case you want to use a builder, the first thing which you have to do is you have to give your custom builder name here. So you can say, okay, this is my custom builder name. For example, I said ng build, ng prod, or ng uat, build uat, build prod. So those custom builder name will come here. Then builder is your own builder which you created, right? So you can say, okay, your package name and colon your custom builder name. So, and the options, you can pass n number of options which are either provided in your schema.json, or you can if you want to restrict the user inputs, or you can just go ahead and pass all the options and it will be received anyways by your builder, your execute function, sorry. And then last thing which you have to do is you have to say ng-run your app name colon builder name. Remember, if you are creating one builder for ng deploy, you don't have to run this. You can just say ng deploy and that's it. It will go ahead and execute any package which is actually created for ng deploy, right? So let's see the demo. I think code is something which everyone understands, not slides. So this is one index.ts file which I have here. Right now I'm not using schema.json. I'm using an interface to restrict my inputs. So I'm saying I have two properties which I can take. One is command, one is arguments, which is string array. And then this is my create builder function, which I was talking about. And here I have my builder config, which is type of options. It means I will get access to these two properties, which can be passed using my application, right? So where I'm using it. Then we are saying, okay, builder context, we said we can go ahead and use schedule target to override any existing build command. So here I'm overriding build command. Also, one of the API which I missed talking about is the logger. So of course, every application needs a logger, right? So you have to log something that whether your process is running or not, if it is, even if it is completed, or you want to log some, let's say some internal information which is given from your builder, maybe some files which you want to create, or you want to override, or you want to just build during your builders when your builder is getting executed. So everything can be logged using this logger API. It gives you logger info, error. There are many functions which are available. So I can just go to logger and you can see logger API, and you have log, debug, info, warn, error. So everything which is available inside your web. So all the APIs are available here, and it will show you all the information on your command prompt. That's the difference. So here I'm just logging. I'm saying, okay, build is starting. And then I'm just printing the command which is received from my application, right? So the application where my build, my custom builder is being used. And then I'm just passing this. Right now I'm not using builder config anywhere, but what I can do is I can also accept configuration. So whether I want to build a production application or a dev application, I can go ahead and take it from a builder config. Then here I'm just waiting for my build to succeed. And once my build is executed, build task is executed, I'm just returning based on the status. So here I'm saying if result is successful, go ahead and return success true. So this is the builder output, which is the what you can say, the response format for your builders, right? So you have to always give a respond in builder output. The builder output contains few properties. So you have so you can either you can also send, if there is any error, you can send the build what you can say, build message. In case you want to give some information regard as key and value pair, you can go ahead and do that. The minimum required response parameter is success. So you have to just tell your application that your build has been like successfully executed, or there was any error. So you can just say success true or false, right? And the target is nothing but your application, where this particular application, where this particular command is being executed. So right now I'm just returning success true if my build is successful. Otherwise, I'm just returning success as false, because I just don't care about the build message right now. But if you do inside your builder, you can just give comma. You can just say error and whatever error message you want to give here. Once it is done, I have to build this. So thanks to this awesome community members, they already have written all the scripts and everything. I can just go to terminal and say npm run build, which will build your application, which will build your builder. And okay, it is successful. You can see it does nothing but runs tsc command. That's cool, right? So you don't have to include anything else, just run tsc command and it's done. So now, right now, all the files are compiled and available here. The next thing which I can do is I can either go ahead and publish this package on npm, or I can test it locally. So my package name is nglibsec. So I'm just going to test it locally. So what I can do is I can run npm link. So it is available locally for me, and I have already an application where I want to use this. I can just run npm run link. Sorry, not run. npm link and okay. Sorry, I don't know from where that information came in. So I just wanted to copy this and say npm link. And you can, I'm sure everyone is aware of npm link, right? So you can go ahead and test any packages, any npm packages which you are building locally using npm link. And now as this is done, the next thing which I have to do is, as per the process, we have to add this into angular.json. So I have just added this configuration. I'm calling that, okay, this new command which I have created will be called awesome. And then the builder name is, of course, my package name, colon, my command name. So I'm saying my command name is again awesome, and command, I can pass anything else. Let's say I'll say Angular is awesome, right? Which it is, right? So Angular is awesome. And next thing which I have to do is I have to run this command. So I'll say ng run. I can just get my application name and the new command which I have just added after a colon, of course. Demo, yep. And you'll see, okay, so build is starting, Angular is awesome, and then your build process will start. It will start compiling your application, and you will soon get the output inside your DST folder. So this is how you can actually create your own command. You don't have to do ng eject anymore. Just create your own builder or extend any existing builder which is available by the community. But do we need to do that? Do we need to extend? Do we need to create your own builder every time? The answer is no. So builders, there are a few builders which are created by community, and those are like, for example, one of my friend called Jeb, he created a lot of custom builders for Webpack browser, Webpack server, Karma. Then of course one is from Manfred Stayer and NGX Build Plus, widely used for web elements or web components. Then Angular Fire Deploy was the first builder which was created by the CLI team itself to deploy your application on Firebase. Then we have Angular Builders /jest, and there is ng-deploy package for Azure as well. So that these are few builders created by community. Then, but the difficult thing is to find a place where you can find all these packages or all these custom builders, right? So I created a website called angular-builders.dev, where you can find all the custom builders which are created by community. So you can see, go to this website, you can also get references to few of the blog posts, and in case you want to create your own builder, you can just refer to those blog posts, or it also has reference to all these repositories, so you can refer any existing repository and see how they are built, and then you can create your own rather than writing a fresh one, right? So no one wants to reinvent the wheel. Rather than reinventing the wheel, just go ahead and use the one which is already available. One of the most widely used use case for builders is ng-deploy. So it was Angular 8.2.3, I think, 8.2.3 release, where Angular team decided to add ng-deploy as a valid CLI command inside the Angular CLI. And you have all these libraries available for Angular Fire for Firebase, Azure, ng-deploy for Azure. Then you have Angular CLI JS pages, which was created by Johannes. Then Netlify builder, which is created by me, and then NGX deploy, NPM, and now AWS also is available. So you can go ahead and deploy your application on ng-deploy. Why ng-deploy makes a lot of sense is because right now, if you see your entire Angular journey, right, for creating a new application, you can see you can start from ng new to create your own application. And if I talk about entire journey of a project, it ends with deployment. And this is where ng-deploy makes sense. So you start with ng new by creating your new application, and ng deploy by publishing your application on any of the websites. So it completes your entire development workflow. You don't have to even go outside and do anything manually apart from using Angular CLI. That's what I love about ng deploy. So in case I have already shown you this command created by Johannes, that you can go ahead and create your own ng deploy command using ngx deploy starter. And this is it. This is it about Angular builders. And I'm going to give a larger talk at ng Vikings, which is on 25th, which will include Angular schematics and builders both. So if you're interested, go ahead and buy your tickets. And if you're interested to ask any more question, these are my social media handles. You can always connect to me and ask any question you want to. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.